Now, before I go any further in explaining anything else to do with turfs, I've got to explain something. This chapter, chapter 3, and chapter 4 and 5, and in fact the next few chapters, are all looking at different areas. Like, you've got your turfs, we're looking at areas, maps, mobs, things like that. Now, the only problem with looking at all these is I wasn't sure which order to actually put these in, because before we can create a map, we really need turfs to put in the map, but before you can actually see what a turf looks like, or if you code some procedure into a turf, before you can really test it, you need a map. So it was one of those, what do I do first? So I've decided to do turfs first. Now, it's up to you if you want to jump between one and the other. That's fine. It doesn't really matter at this point, as long as you don't jump past the maps tutorial. Because, as I say, they kind of all need to be taught simultaneously, which is impossible, of course, so I'm going to try and do my best. So, as from the tutorial's description, you'll know that we're going to look at enter and exited in turfs. Now, I've got an example open. I've got a turf with 3 turfs. Logically, I've got grass, water, and edge. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a command, enter. Now, as you can see, enter is only one tab for grass. It's indented, so it belongs to grass. Now, enter begins with a capital E. Now, I'm going to show you why. If I select it and I press F1, it brings up the help file. You can see that enter is a pre-programmed procedure, and this pre-programmed procedure has a capital E. I'm just going to open this up, the help file, because it'll actually show you a few more. There's entered, exit, and exited. Now, it actually does return either a 1 or 0, but we're not going to look at that later, because you can actually check to see if one's entered or not. But anyway, we'll look at that later, as I've already said. So we're just going to look at enter for the moment. I'm going to go open and close bracket, of course. New line, and we're going to indent again. Now, I'm just going to output to the user, hello. And then I could go on the line below. I'm going to just put that in. It's not needed for all procedures, but it's like for some procedures, if you don't put it in, the program doesn't work, and it kind of gives control back to the pre-programmed procedure, or it allows you to execute the code that is actually meant to be executed at that for the entered procedure. And then I'm going to do the same with exit, again another capital. I'm going to go user goodbye. And you can stick in whatever you want, but that's it. That's enter and exit. Now, there's entered and exited. Now, there are some differences. Enter is like you're in the process of entering an object, or a turf in this case. You've actually asked permission to enter, but you're not sure if you can yet. If you stick in entered, it only is called once you've actually entered the turf. Exit's the same. You've asked him permission. There we go, to exit the procedure. Sorry, the turf. And exited is once you've actually exited the procedure. So that's just entered and exit that you can use with turfs. And if you wanted to use the same entered and exited for a ton of turfs, you could do it like that. And currently that's going to do it for all turfs, but that's just entered and exited, and the other two as well. As I say, you might want to jump between these next few chapters, but it's entirely up to you. You can follow the course as it's set out if you want, but it's not a necessity at this moment in time.